Good to have you here. We'll just kind of rest in this moment this morning, get into reverence, holding space for the sound of love, the sound of compassion within our own hearts. Give me just a second, it's going to look like I go out. Thank you to everyone that's here. Welcome in. It's good to have you here, loves. How's everyone feeling this morning? Grand Rising Pops, how you doing? Just allow your body to respect the holy temple that you are. Allow yourself to be in full reverence with the divine here this morning, holding space for the universe held within. Knowing that you change the world. Every moment you choose something new. When you change the inner programming, you give permission for the world to change through your example. Appointment today, so I won't be on YouTube until later. That's no worries at all, Pops. Thanks for being here. I feel good. How are you feeling today? I am good. I am. I literally have nothing to complain about, you guys. I feel fantastic. Yay! I have nothing to complain about, only gratitude. Such gratitude in the universe. Thank you to all of those that are here. I appreciate you. Thank you for the likes. I see you, love. Hello, Katie. Welcome in, beautiful soul. How is everyone? How is everyone doing? How is your hearts today? Mine is shining. My heart is shining. Hello, welcome in. Good morning. Maybe I should move this over a little bit. Good morning, Grand Rising Christine, Grand Rising Rachel. Hello, beautiful souls. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your heart. Ooh, give me blessings so I can be a good software developer. You already are, my love. Open up to that possibility within you. How is everyone's heart? How were you this weekend? Anything fun happen? You know, it's funny, I didn't realize today was 420 until I wrote down the words of the day and I was like, OMG, it's 420. I used to be so much more into 420, like it was my favorite holiday of the year. And now it's just passed me by. But there is almost this transition in addiction mentality that I felt in the collective, that there is much more reverence for medicine than there is numbness. At least what I have felt recently, as many people are switching over their use of herbal medicines, plant medicines, more as medicine rather than the word occupation is coming to mind, or a numbing agent. For a small while there, it definitely became my life, my personality. I never been into it, but I got engaged on 420 12 years ago. Oh, I love that for you. Surya suntukushka itikia paremo suntukua. Su. Hmm. But it can be a block for some for sure. A meditation tool, yes. Anyways, I just had to mention because it is 420. So happy 420 to those who celebrate. Sacred medicine, I love that. Sunutu, Sunukushkana. Of course, everyone's journey is going to be different, and I do not suggest these medicines to anyone. If your soul has called you to certain plant medicines, listen, hear the call, and you will hear it in your heart. You will hear it in your body. And for those that don't, drink water. That's what came through. Drink water. I don't know why. Sunya rion suntush kanaki kia pia asuntu sutukush kanaki pias. Rumus sunus kurutuku aki diamawa. Ni shumaku riamosu. They're showing me all of these butterflies. I went to a butterfly garden yesterday that opened my heart so deeply. I was able to, my nieces and nephews, there's always something going on. And my niece got an infection. Oops, let me turn this down. My niece got an infection in her hip joint at the age of 4, the ripe age of 4. It's just, as I was tuning into it, I was like, I literally cannot logically understand why this happened. She was on antibiotics for a kind of a sinus infection that she was having. And it's really confusing because when I look up this information of this infection in the joint, they're saying they're using antibiotics to prevent it. So why would it have happened if she was already on antibiotics? And this is why I think that the antibiotics diminished her immune system, and the hip joint doesn't have like a lot of blood flowing to it at all times. And so when the infection kind of came in, because she was already on antibiotics, it was not focusing its energy on other parts of the body because it was dismissing its its immune system. I hope this is making sense because it doesn't fully make sense to me because I'm still again not 100% sure why this happened. And so I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she's a nurse, and she was like, I don't understand. It doesn't logically make sense. It doesn't add up. And I was like, I know it doesn't. So this is where I had to be like, well, I really just believe that there was divine intervention here and something had to have come out. And I was talking to one of my other healer friends about this situation. And I was like, I don't understand. What do you think it could be? And so we were like going into the energetics, and it was the left hip. Of course, the left hip is the suppressed feminine. The left hip is the suppressed anger of all of this suppression, the deep awakening within the body. And it's just interesting at the age of 4 that she had to deal with this cycle breaking, that she had to deal with the physical experiences of feminine suppression in her body, because nothing else logically makes sense why that would have happened other than an emotional attachment to the hip. So weird. It's got to be on the energetic level, and that's what I said. And so I asked my sister-in-law if I could do some healing on her, and she said yes. And then I asked my sister-in-law if I could do healing on her, and she's like, it's not the right time. You know how they say that. It's not the right time. Which I love that. It's not just like an absolute no, but it's like maybe later down the line. It feels ancestral to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes, that's what I said too. And I told her, I was like, because I was, and okay, going back, I was talking to my sister-in-law, and I opened up this conversation, and I was like, do you want me to share what I kind of tuned into when I tuned in? And I was kind of feeling hesitant because she does hold some anger behind her field, and I didn't want her to be upset at me for what I was saying. And she was like, I mean, I want to hear anything that I can know about the situation. So I know you've talked a lot about trauma in the hip before, so whatever you have. And I was like, well, I do think that this probably is suppressed anger. And she was like, oh yeah, she does hold back a lot of her anger. She does have a lot of anger. And I was like, but it's beyond her. I do think that this is on the feminine family line. And she was like me? And I was like, yes, and the continuation, like the suppressed feminine on your mother's side and continuing down. And I was like, and I don't want you to see this at all as me saying that there's something that you've done wrong. And she was like, I don't feel that way. But I'm just like, but I do think that that could be energetically the cycle breaking that she had to physically experience to let all of that go. And we see this with the younger generation as the completely different species of consciousness, right? And so they're doing a lot of their internal work. This is why so many kids, I mean, their other child has cerebral palsy. And I was like, and I think that he's also a part of the cycle breaking in some capacity, um, of this like really strong angelic form. There was a whole conversation that we had, but it was really beautiful to like hold space for her, but she also received it more than she's ever received it before. Like she's never taken advice from me. Like she doesn't like to take advice from me very often because I am more holistic and she's a nurse, so she has like, her own thing. And then later, since the space was kind of open, I was like, have you ever worked with charcoal? Because I do think that her body will need some detox after all of these antibiotics and all of these medications that she's on, and I would suggest charcoal. She was like, no, I've never heard of charcoal. And she kind of just like allowed me to speak my wisdom, which was like really beautiful because again, like that space has not been open for very long with her. But anyways, so that was really beautiful to witness because I know that this situation was beyond my niece. My niece is going to forget this. She's only 4 years old. Hopefully she'll forget this. Um, and this obviously felt like this was more intentional to the parents, more intentional to the family, because while they were in the hospital, their basement also flooded. And for her, it was this lesson of letting go of control. You do not have control over everything in your life. You have to surrender into the divine. You have to trust that things are happening outside of your control. And we kind of talked about that a little bit, and but she just seems so much more open to having these conversations. I know I'm kind of on a rant about this, but it was really just beautiful to witness with her by experiencing this illness of my niece, and then I was also able to do healing on my niece, and it really opened up that sphere. um what else was I going to say? So then after that, then we went to the butterfly garden, which was really beautiful. So there was like this really kind of dense energy of being in the hospital dealing with this sickness, but then we were able to go to the butterfly garden and just experience the divine bliss of reality and the beauty of life, and kind of feeling that high and that low, the low and that high, and the full completion. And by the end of the day, it was just like this, my heart was full, like there was so much exposing, there was so much being seen in my reality and in my family, and it's been really beautiful. I know I'm on this like whole tangent, but every time we come on Monday, I always have a lot to say because the weekends are always filled with things that I'm not able to share with you guys. But something else that's been kind of coming up in my reality is my parents have been debating about what marriage looks like in the Bible. Ah, yes, Tosh, I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. Yeah, like that's something that feels really strong for me to do within the family, is to bring the power of wisdom back and to mm, just allow wisdom. That's, I think, the best way to say it, just allow wisdom to be in the family, and to remind, because I've been thinking about this a lot. Like her last name is Rosema, or her maiden name was Rosema. And I've always thought about this for like years and years and years. When I get married, I want to change my last name to Rose, in honor of the Rose lineage, in honor of completely changing the cycle, not being attached to my family line, just completely changing my reality. And so for her last name to have Rosema, I keep thinking about this as like her family has experienced the Rose lineage. Her family, her experience, her line women, of beings, have experienced the rose lineage, and I know it. And even yesterday she used the word pilgrimage, because I'm going on that Mary Magdalene pilgrimage, and she was like, I need to go on a pilgrimage. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing ever. Like, she's very much like tuning into this part of her that wants to experience more. And I even told her, I'm like, my heart has been very open to working with her with sacred medicines, with psychedelics. And I told her, I want to really do this. It's been really deep on my heart to trip sit you and to hold space for that. And she was like, okay. Like, I know that she's still hesitant, but she's going to kind of go along with it until it's actually happening, until I'm actually like, okay, now it's time. We're going to do this. So that's going to be really beautiful there. Oh, my parents, going back to my parents, they've been talking a lot about what marriage looks like in the Bible, and like what, oh, they also have a book of like politics according to the Bible, which is like crazy in itself, but I also understand it. But they've been doing a lot of this like questioning. And as much as it might seem a little bit like projection, I am not taking any of it on, because I can feel their insides like scrambling, trying to stay limited, but their body is not letting them. Like, my mom is questioning so much, my dad is questioning so much, but they're not fully allowing themselves to fully question, but they're kind of getting there. And so they'll have these like kind of loud debates in the living room, in the kitchen, in the car, anywhere that I'm at, literally, about these spiritual concepts. And it's really funny because I am not taking any of it personally. And I don't think I've ever been at this level because of the intensity that they've been speaking. Like, yes, I'll normally have my headphones in whenever I kind of hear a conversation that I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be here for this. But it's just funny. Like, I'm not taking on any of the projection, and it feels so good. Like, in the past I would have. Like, even when they were like praying kind of at me at dinner, or like reading their Bible out loud back in the day, I would feel kind of like, ugh, a little tense about it. But now I'm like, I know that the world is changing. Like, I have so much divine knowing that things are getting better, and that things are changing, and that things are evolving, that I'm just going to witness them and hold this stabilizing field of joy and compassion and love to show them that it is possible to move through those questions, that it is possible to experience a lot of confusion about your morals, and to move through it because of that inner light, because of that inner stability of the divine. So even when they try to reject it, the seed plants, even if it blooms later, absolutely 100%. Oh, thank you for the gifts, love. 1,000%. I'm working on doing it myself, so I wanted to point it out how often I still hold back the woo. Yes. 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 Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome in. So, so, so that's just kind of the stories that I have this weekend. It's like I'm so unbothered, which is amazing, because y'all didn't know me back in the day, but I was so bothered by everything. I was so victimized by my own sensitivity. I would make it everyone else's problem. And that's unfortunately my truth. Is I just couldn't handle some of those conversations, or I just couldn't handle the fact that people would look down upon me for my practice, and I couldn't handle people thinking that I was doing demonic work. But now I literally don't give a flying F, because it doesn't matter. That is not me. That's them. That's their projection of their reality. Ah, so it feels really good to just be so free in my own self, in my freedom. So that's been really, really beautiful. And I mean, even with the Mary Magdalene trip, I think, you guys, I've talked about this so much. I'm very, very excited about it. But even in that, I've been able to witness to my family the fact that I'm having this miraculous experience of going to France, being sponsored, and being loved on, and being cared for, and having this experience. My whole family is like confused how this is possible. And, to an extent, my heart is too. But then at the same time, my soul's like, no, it just makes sense. that I'm being treated in this way, that I'm being respected in this way, that I'm being loved in this way. And it's very humbling. It's very beautiful. So, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your. Thank you, Jody. I love you, girl. Allow people projections to pass and not attach. Yes, my mom asked me if what I was doing is satanic 2 weeks ago. I'm getting stronger. Yes, Katie. And all of it is necessary. All of those questions are necessary for you to stay strong. And that strength is the stability that they're looking for, right? Like I've talked about before, when people question you or when people question your beliefs, don't see it as them threatening you or don't see it as them pushing up against you, but see it as you growing and you helping them stabilize, because obviously they have questions because they're in a confused state. So they're going to ask questions because they want clarity. And so when you're able to have a clear channel that's not disrupted by that questioning, it provides them more of a gateway to walk through the ascension. Thank you. Calm the moment I popped in here. Energy don't lie. Oh, thank you, love. So that's what I feel about that. We become the energetic bridge when we hold a stable answer. And sometimes that answer is, I don't really know fully what I believe, or I don't know the answer to that, but I do know what I feel. Like I do, it doesn't have to be the most elaborate answer to the question that they're asking. And it also can be, hey, this question that you're asking seems a little bit charged and it seems a little pressed towards me. If you want to ask it in a different way where it feels like you're actually wanting to learn from me rather than wanting to debate with me or wanting to push against me or wanting to pin me against a wall, then we can have that conversation. But right now, it doesn't feel like we're in that worthy state to have this conversation. It doesn't seem like you actually want to listen. So I'm going to hold this information until you are ready. And once you have that, that's that energy of breaking through that wall of anger, breaking through that wall of trigger and frustration, and walking forward with honesty, walking forward with compassion of self. When you have compassion of self and respect of self, the other party automatically has to tune into that frequency. And if they can't match that frequency, you can't have that conversation. That's how I feel personally. And this is why I don't share everything with my family. But when the time is right, where that energetic curtain is opened and there is respect, that's when I'll come in and I'll share that information. This is why we talk about you don't need to over explain. You don't have to over explain anything, really. There's no need for you to have to explain yourself. But when the time is right for you to want to explain something, there has to be like an energetic current there of safety, of respect, of gratitude. That's what I feel. My fiance and I still banter, but he comes with questions now, and that changed. Can't go unnoticed. Yes, I love that. I think a lot of partnerships are experiencing that right now, especially with the divine masculine doing a lot of waking up from letting go of the mother. This is a huge thing that the divine masculine has held on to, or the masculine has held on to the mother as being required and needed and not being fully whole. There's a lot of men, there's a lot of masculine energies that are very codependent with the mother frequency. And it doesn't mean that it has to be their mother, it means sometimes they attach to their partner as their mother. Sometimes the man treats the woman like the mother rather than the partner. It's not good. It's not great, right? And there is a shift that is happening in consciousness where there is equality, evenness, sharing of roles. Not codependent though, that's good. Yeah, sharing of roles is really starting to open a bit more. And again, this isn't going to be for everyone, but this is something that I have felt with the collective. My first husband was definitely my son, yes. And there is also this need, though, for the divine feminine to almost not lower herself, but step a little bit away from that mothering role for the divine masculine or for the partner. And this goes in, again, all types of relationships, not just heteronormative. We all have these feminine masculine dynamics that play out in relationships. Interesting that this is coming up. I haven't even talked about the words of the day, so let's talk about the words of the day. Words of the day on 4/20/26 is home, ease, blossom, taper. So the first 4 words, home, ease, blossom, taper. Then the next group of words is swell, bliss, enjoyment, and grace. I love this idea of home being easy and home blossoming, or you blossoming within yourself, creating a home. And the word taper, I think, is very, very interesting, because taper is kind of like going from something big and then coming down to this like tapered level. And I think this is what I'm feeling, is like almost this deep energetic aggression that we've been feeling, kind of tapering down to experience ease. So that's what I'm feeling for this collective. Home, ease, blossom, taper, swell, bliss, enjoyment, and grace. And I think those last 4 words really kind of show themselves that there is just enjoyment in life. There's this ability to hold gratitude and bliss in every single moment and hold grace for everything and everyone. So those are the frequencies here today. I think the main word that I want to focus on, though, is the word home. Is your list open or doing collectives? My list is open, Jess. Welcome in. I think the word home holds a lot of weight in my soul, because, again, home isn't necessarily the 4 corners, the 4 walls. Tapering aggression is big for me. Thank you for sharing. Yes, you're welcome. It's not just the 4 corners or the 4 walls. It is the temple. It's the holy inside, right? It's the holy inner connection. That's home. Okay, excellent, Jess. Again, if anyone else does want to get on the list, you can go to my link in bio. We will start here soon. We've just kind of been having a lot of, I booked Hope It's Okay. Excellent. Home isn't a place, it's a feeling. Yes. Okay, let's do Katie. Astrid. Jess. We have 2 spots open if anyone else wants to get on the list today. We'll start in a couple minutes here. I'm going to bring some more light down through the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, down into the earth, grounding down. Massaging out your energy body here. Just relaxing any part of you that is holding tension or holding too much control and just needing to let go. Flow like a river all the way down through you. Hips, thighs, knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, down into the earth, grounding down through your roots, connecting all the way down to the crystalline core, wrapping your roots around the core. Sending this ease, this peace, this home, this bliss, this enjoyment all the way through our field and into the collective, shifting up and around. Bringing this deep peace, this deep love, this deep compassion up through your roots, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, all the way up into the heavens, allowing us to be your truth. Bringing this all the way back down. Something about me, if you guys didn't know, is when I do healings, there's a couple ways that energy moves through my body. And for me, the main way is sweating. So if you do see some pit stains today, ignore them and move on. It's a way that my body energetically releases when I'm holding space with you guys. I got approved for a home last week and it was very hard before. Congrats, Greg. All right. Let me check my website or wherever. Katie, wait, you said sacred pit stains. Yes, sacred pit stains for sure. All right. So we have, we'll do Katie as a 15-minute session, then Astrid as a 25-minute session, then Jess as a 25. So let's start with Katie. Katie, do you have anything specific you want to work on today? So, and I also want to say to Astrid, I'm just looking at your message here. If you want to send me an email of some of that information, 45, yes. Yes, wait, 50. You booked a 25, excellent, Christine. So I might close the list with these ones. Yes, so send me an email because I can't access my TikTok right now when I'm on live. So if you sent me a message over there, I want to make sure that I'm tuning in correctly. All right, trip to Serpent Mountain on Thursday, just clearing the field for open communication. Excellent, Allison. I'll write you down, love. And that one might be 20. I feel like two paths are merging, lots of sacred geometry planted below me. For sure, for sure. Okay, let me tune in here in a second, love. Okay, wait. Serpent Mound. Let me get my energy ready and we'll get started. Katie, put a heart in the chat when you're ready and we'll get started. Grand Rising Erica, welcome in. So this is a 15-minute session. Anyone else can receive the secondary energy codes of this healing, any information that's meant to come through you. If you do feel called to share or repost, please do. It does help us out to bring more of this information to the collective. Ooh, hand on heart, hand on belly. We'll take 3 deep breaths in together. Take a deep breath in. Katie, this is strong energy, love. This is strong energy. Okay, I just kind of have to sit with this frequency. What they're showing me, there's a lot of Egyptian codes. There's a lot of Egyptian codes, and what I'm feeling underneath this sacred mound is actually a sacred temple, and I think you know that. This sacred temple is a healing temple that works with the snake or serpent frequencies, which can also be known as the Kundalini frequencies. I am seeing Isis, Hathor, Anubis, and Ra, and Thoth, and the beetle looking being. There is a lot of transformational energy at this mound. There is a very large vortex point. I feel like we've tuned into this before, but I'm not remembering what the message was there. But I'm hoping that this will align with it. There's a very strong vortex energy coming out of the center of that mound, going up. Woo! As I'm feeling it, I can feel it kind of moving through my body. So they're being called, if you can, sit at the very top where the vortex energy is coming up and allow the healing frequencies of this divine serpent temple to move through your body to activate your Kundalini frequencies to a stronger degree, to a stronger healing level. So the Kundalini energy that's moving up through your body is activating stronger healing frequencies through your body because you very much are being called into stepping full time into healing, to sharing this healing with the world. What I'm also seeing is potentially even bringing people to this location at some times and doing healing work here. If this place is called your heart, there is a reason for that. I just keep seeing gold and these frequencies that are going up through your body. They're saying don't overthink anything that you feel or see, and don't doubt your ability to connect. Because even with you being like clear in communication, there is in some way doubt that your communication is not cleared already. Ooh. Speak, Spirit. Thank you. Katie, trust that you know how to connect deeply into Source and into yourself. Whatever is meant for you will come to you and will be felt through you. And I want you to feel yourself in this sacred place on top of that mound, receiving the vibrations and allowing your body to vibrate in alignment, in resonance with this golden, healing, ancient technology. Allowing myself to center to receive it and listen. Petroglyphs on the Saskatchewan river vortex. I'm not sure because I'm not sure what that really is, unfortunately. I'm not very versed in a lot of things in that capacity. But I do feel, you said hieroglyphs or petroglyphs. Can you tell me what that is? Because I am feeling like I'm seeing a lot of these ancient like hieroglyphs on the walls. But I'm not sure if that's in alignment. Okay, I'm going to open up your field here down in the root. Your root's going to be buzzing. Carvings on these stones in the middle of the river. Yes. I'm hearing yes. They're wanting you to literally like remember the sacred place of this land. This land used to be a place where these divine beings, these divine vessels would walk and share their wisdom. And they're showing like the village of these beings. And this was just the sacred place of healing. And they're showing, yes, they are showing a river, and they're showing people like getting water and like this whole community. They're showing this whole community, and they're wanting you in some capacity to remember this communal life or this life deeply connected in with natural medicine or nature's magic. They're showing me bears working with the wildlife. There's something about the bird frequencies that you're going to be hearing that's going to activate your pineal gland. It's just so interesting how they were like, you don't doubt your channel. They've just said this a couple times. Don't doubt your channel. Okay. Bringing some more light down through the crown. It's a very activating energy. And they're saying allow your full body to be very present, very specifically your body to be present, and they're going to bring vibrations through your body. And again, there's going to be an activated Kundalini frequency that's coming up through you. And it can be a little bit overwhelming for your third eye or the back of your head while you're there. So make sure you're deeply connecting in with that root chakra magnetism, magnetizing to earth while you're sitting. Ancient symbols painted on the walls of caves and rocks. Yes. Yes, I am seeing that stuff. Opening up the throat. There's something here that they're wanting to show me. They're almost purposefully not showing me everything. Yeah, they're saying yes. Because they want you to trust your channel. They keep saying that. And to trust your body and the information that you're meant to receive. So we'll open up the heart to really allow that electromagnetic current to really shift outwards. So while you're in this location, I really want you to feel that electromagnetic current or your aura or your Taurus field really expanding very large. And while you're expanding and doing these auric practices of expanding your aura and then bringing it back to self, what you're going to be doing is going out, grabbing information from the electromagnetic field and bringing it back into self, receiving that information, downloading it, integrating it, sending it back out. And so the more that you're able to do this while you're there, the more information is going to come into you. And you're not meant to understand all of it at once. You're just meant to feel it. And through time, when you're integrating, they're going to give those memories or that information up into your consciousness to be aware of. So there's going to be a lot of downloads that take place kind of after your visit. This is a trust mission effort, spiritual psychosis of doubt. Needs healing. Yes, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Oh, that makes me so happy because Katie, this is something that much of the collective is actually going through, is this healing the psychosis wound that I have felt for many, many people. So by you doing this and by you stepping into this next phase of trust, you're emanating this frequency again, even through your aura, through this timeline. So see that as very important. When you step into this trust, you're helping change the world. When you step into feeling, you're opening up much more possibilities for yourself. And I'm seeing these golden timelines opening up while you're sitting there, right? That auric expansion. I'm seeing all of these gold streams of light going out into the earth and finding different paths for you, because it's not just one path that you need to follow. There's so many options. And they're saying they want to give you as many options as you need to feel confident and comfortable within yourself, because you're meant to heal. There's also a masculine wound, and it feels like bigger. It feels like patriarchy in general. Yeah, and as I said, patriarchy, my hips relaxed. So that is an intention here. So while you're going on the mound, holding the intention of coming into unity, coming into balance between the feminine and the masculine is necessary. And it's necessary because we don't want to project our uncomfort of the patriarchy onto our partnerships. They're showing me stars. They're showing me Sirius. Sirius A is going to be working with you. They're very connected to the Egyptian frequencies. Then we're coming down into the solar plexus. There's going to be a pretty strong solar upgrade like we've been talking about. Okay, so as we know, each chakra kind of has a balancing chakra. So the solar plexus, the balancing chakra, is the throat chakra. These two are going to be ones that are really upgrading because it's a trust mission. This is a trustful, it's a trust mission of communication with the divine, a trust to trust what you're communicating and what you're receiving, right? So it's a trust mission between these two chakras, as well as the root, because the root is really magnetizing, but the root and the crown. So we have like these couple layers of frequencies, and they're going to work simultaneously. So if you are getting an upgrade in your root, feeling very stable in your healing abilities, you're going to receive more information about your healing technique and what is unique to you, right? The more you can ground, the more you can receive. And I think a lot of people miss that. They think the more that I dissociate, the more I must receive in my crown chakra. And that's untrue. It has to be balanced. Your spirit team isn't going to give you more information unless you are ready for it. So that's what we're seeing here, is that there is an expansion in the crown and expansion in the throat because of the lower expansions in the solar and the root. They're showing me lace as well, or white, going with the color white, wearing the color white to some capacity and wearing some gold is going to be really good for that connection. We're going to go down to the sacral. I know we're almost done here, so I want to honor everyone else's time. I'm just seeing eating oranges, eating vitamin C, orange juice, clementines, things like that, going to be beneficial to the sacral. Of course, we know that because it's orange, but maybe a little bit extra vitamin C before you go on the trip could be also good for your immune system, good for your energetic body to receive that type of medicine. Yes. Going down to the root, opening up. Katie, I would love to come visit you. I'm just feeling that in my heart and my soul. And we will. We'll make it happen. Opening up the root. Again, feel that magnetic connection, magnetic pull down through hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet down into the earth, grounding down. Rooting through your roots all the way down to the crystalline core. Bringing this frequency of openness and communication, clarity and trust all the way through your channel, all the way down to the crystalline core, sending this energy up and around. I would love to. I would love to a lot. That would make me very happy. I really haven't been to too many places. Like I'm a loner out here in this spiritual world. All right, bringing this energy back up through your roots. Feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, all the way up into the heavens, allowing this to be your truth if it feels right to you, and bringing this energy all the way back down and around you. And so it is. I would love that, Katie. Releasing any last energy that doesn't serve you, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow. Yeah, I do see this energy of like the more that you connect with this mound, I don't know how many times you're going to go or how close it is to you, but I do feel this energy of bringing others on a pilgrimage to this space to receive the medicine of the healing temple. Release. Release. You're going to get a pretty big upgrade is what I'm feeling. So be open to that. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out, appreciating the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the honor of being alive here in this present moment. I see you, I love you, I honor you. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura, keeping you safe, sane, and protected. Abundance all the way through you and into the collective consciousness field as we all shift together. Take a deep breath in. Your energy is yours. My energy is mine. And so it is. They're saying don't be afraid to be a flamingo in a world of doves. They're saying like you're allowed to be a little odd duckling. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, you're so welcome. Truth flows through you. I'm glad I can see it. Oh, I've sent you TikTok message via email. It's very intense. Okay. Ooh, I love that. Ah, yes. So beautiful. So beautiful. Okay. So we're going to go into Astrid's session. So we have Astrid and then Jess, Christine, and then Allison. Let me look on my, oopsies. Let me look on my email here. And then before we get into that session, I am going to go use the bathroom. So make sure you guys are drinking lots of water if you're in here. I'm so glad you guys are in here. Okay, Astrid, absolutely, we can work on this. So I'll give a little summary of this frequency. Astrid had this being that she saw in the garage with like overwhelming, and this being just wanted to look at her. And there was also another time where it, just other times that they were kind of here and was like, do you want to go into this portal? Like, do you want to do this stuff? And this is a really interesting thing in consciousness that I've also been feeling with other beings, with other energies that I've worked with. It's this being, this time of seeing more disclosure. And so those that are kind of at the front lines of disclosure that have worked with other beings before, which Astrid has experienced a lot of things, they're going to be the first ones to kind of receive disclosure very physically. There's many people that have already experienced, physically talked with these beings. And this physical disclosure is necessary for us to be able to regulate our fear so that we can stabilize when other people, when disclosure is fully coming through. I've had this also with another client where she saw reptilian beings right in front of her, and she was like, I was instantly afraid. And the frequency that I was then sharing with her is, we do not need to be afraid of these frequencies, for they are trying to come in communication or communion with us. because the world is changing literally to a higher frequency where love is demanded and respect is demanded. It is necessary if they are going to come to the surface and be seen, they have to show up with love and respect as their frequency. And so to allow that to kind of rest your body and allow you to relax here in this moment, I'm going to just stop there and then we'll go into the session in a second. I'm going to go use the bathroom and I will be right back. Y'all, I can tell this is a strong one. I literally was just smiling the whole time I was going to the bathroom because I'm like, I'm so excited about this session. Jody, you are such a baddie, boo. You are such a baddie. All right. Y'all, this is disclosure. Okay, let's get started. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this session to see what comes up. And Astrid, I want to say I'm able to like be so excited because I'm not in your actual body, and I know that seeing these beings with your physical eyes would be absolutely terrifying. I want to just honor that and appreciate that. It is terrifying. It's a freaky feeling, but that feeling is being asked and being called to be regulated at this time. Let me just get into it. Okay, let's get started. All right. Astrid, put a heart in the chat when you are ready, and we'll get into it. So, hand on heart, hand on belly. Let's take 3 deep breaths in together. Take a deep breath in. Okay, so the first thing that I want to acknowledge in your field, Astrid, is the fact that you have had past experiences with extraterrestrials that have not been entirely honest or entirely loving. Okay, so we want to acknowledge that as like almost this energetic trauma that you're feeling in your field. And so when these beings are coming up to you and wanting to be seen by you, part of your almost like energetic PTSD comes forward, and your nervous system goes, are they going to take me? Am I going to be abductive? Am I going to be harmed? And so I want to just relax your energy field right now and allow light to come through your crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs. Ooh. Back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, grounding down. Release, trust. Remember that you are in the physical reality, and there is a time and a place whenever you want to tune out of the spiritual realm. Any time and any moment that your body feels afraid or feels energetically threatened, you can always just feel into what is real. This is real for me. This is my body. I am safe here. I am safe here. Feel into your body and give yourself that physical pressure. So a lot of times when we feel a little out of our body or a little scared by the energetics that we're witnessing, feel into whatever you can feel. Even as I took I swallowed, I felt into that saliva. I felt into my body. I'm very present here. So that's going to be the first thing that I really suggest you do. When encountering in energy that feels unsafe, make sure your body feels safe, and then you can move forward. Because making interactions with beings in a feeling of vulnerability or in a feeling of fear isn't going to go as far or as well as we're going to want it to, because we already have that lens of fear that's going to keep us pretty limited. So we just want to kind of acknowledge the nervous system whenever that's happening, acknowledging maybe this energetic PTSD that's taking place in the body, and giving your body time to breathe, feel present, and feel safe. These things are necessary when we are coming in contact with other extraterrestrial beings. And again, I want to say that this is something that we as a species are going to be walking into. And it's going to be uncomfortable for many of us to see beings that do not look like us, do not function like us, and hold a different frequency. I was even talking to my friend the other day, and I sent this like alien gif, and I was like, I hope that they wear clothes because they look really weird. It makes me uncomfortable. And she was like, oh, they probably do not wear clothes because their freedom looks different than ours. Maybe we would look weird for wearing clothes because this is just our body. Why do we have to be ashamed of it, right? And I was like, oh, good point. So they're going to look weird. They're going to look a little bit different, and that's okay. So that's the first thing that I want to say to you, Astrid. Regulate the system. Let your body relax. It's okay. You're safe here. And then when you get your confidence back, when you get your energy back, when you pull all of your energy back to you and remember who you are and what your presence is, that's when we want to have those conversations and engagements with these other beings, okay? So relaxing the body, giving your body full permission to be safe and to engage in these conversations without fear. Just regulating and relaxing the solar. Making sure you're breathing. So something that I want to also note is this type of work, when someone next to you, so I know you talked about someone else experiencing deep energetic waves and voltages of light that, made their body a little weird. When you're able to regulate your system next to them, that frequency then emanates into that person. And so your regulated nervous system then is mirrored or helping the other person's nervous system. And it's vice versa. So when we're feeling this deep energetic constriction, restraint, overwhelm, the people next to us might also tune into that. And that could also be a symptom that they're experiencing. So that's something I want to bring up. Allow your system to regulate. I'm going to do this until I feel that it is safe for us to move into the next topic. And I want you to be fully present. So this is something that we can often do, especially you as a super star seed. You're like, oh, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. And your energy is so easily able to dissociate. We want to stay very present. This is why you're here, is to have these deep conversations with disclosure. You're here as a huge, what we talked about as Stargate, a disclosure energy for the collective to open up these conversations with extraterrestrials. And it's going to start very energetic, and then it's going to manifest physically. And so if we can't handle the imagery or the energetic connection, how are we ever going to handle the physical connection? How are we going to be a world that holds multi-race, multi-species, multi-frequency? Because that is where energetically we are going. And we have to start to accept that as this disclosure is really, really happening. Disclosure is underway because we are disclosure. Okay. Let's tune in to this garage scene as we're seeing this being in front of you. Again, I feel this wave of fear going into your body, and I want you to stabilize. We're going to pause that scene, stabilize, relax, take a deep breath in. And as this being is here, I want what you to do is to send this frequency of unconditional love to this being. This is what I always do when I'm in contact with beings. I send unconditional love. And if that is able to be received and admired and sent back from that being, then I will continue to communicate. So I want you to send that frequency of unconditional love through all of your body, through your chakras. I want you to see and receive what comes from that. If that being lights up more, is illuminated, maybe that's a sign to connect in. So as I'm seeing this being has kind of in some way illuminated, I do feel them as a commander of some sort. I do feel them as wanting to contact you because of your unique frequency. And I want their frequencies to now come into your body. We can even have a filtration if that feels good for you. If there's any information that they want to bring in, you can put a filter over your third eye with the frequencies of only allowing what is in the highest good for you and mankind to come in. So I'm seeing now this blue stream of light language coming through this vessel, coming through the filter, and then coming through your third eye, going through all of your body to open up your body to receive more information about disclosure. This is what I'm feeling all of this to be. They're also showing me the American flag, which is very interesting. They're showing me also the trip to the moon. As a disguise, they're saying. What other information could you give here? We want you to relax into these conversations. We want to get your nervous system more comfortable to be contacted in this way. We are asking your hearts to be ready. And oh, this is so weird because they're kind of going in and out of timelines because this was an experience in the past, but they're showing and speaking through me now. Oof. And they're saying that they knew that you were going to come onto this live to be able to share this information for the disclosure of this collective. they're adjacently working with me and my frequencies. They just keep saying it is important for the nervous system to be regulated in order to have these conversations. That's what they're going to keep saying. And so, Astrid, the more that they're stepping into your field, the more you're being called to learn nervous system regulation on the spot. I can feel the heart a little bit overwhelmed. So we're going to open up the heart space here. Let energy flow that needs to flow. There's a lot of light codes coming in, a lot of light streaming. Yeah, and your frequency is in alignment with these beings, which is why they're able to contact you. So they're saying, see it as a respect to your frequency, or see it as what's another way to say this? See it as honorable for these beings to come in contact with you, because you have made it to the energetic level to receive this type of information for the planet. They just keep saying you're the start of disclosure, and you're not the only one. There's many people that are starting to have these interactions, whether in their mind's eye or physically. They are also saying if you need to, you can ask to close your third eye to have these conversations, but a part of these conversations that are being had is for you to physically see them, because you've been in contact with them without seeing them for a very long time, and now you have to allow your body to integrate the sight, because it can be overwhelming. So they're wanting you to like slowly creep in to allowing this to be digested in your body. They're wanting you to also witness, they're saying all of these light beings around this being that you connected with, all of these light beings on all four corners of them, allow them to be seen. Because if we're in deep fear, we often aren't going to witness or see the light as much as we want to. Ask the light beings to be seen. And then I'm hearing, do not be afraid. The number one phrase in the Bible, in all of the Bible, is do not be afraid. These light beings coming down, or angels coming down to speak messages to humans, do not be afraid. And they're showing this again and again and again. Regulating the nervous system, sitting in relaxation to have conversations. They're saying as well, there's a lot of light codes coming in, which is opening and ripping the veil for many, many people. Those who have not engaged a lot in the spiritual realm might be stepping into more sight, more seeing, more feeling. More of their gifts are coming online, and they might in some way blame those that have already had this openness. So if your body has felt blamed for this from other people, let that go. This is their experience. So that other person in your life, they're going to feel this because they're adjacent to you, and because you're receiving all of these upgrades. They wouldn't be with you or near you if their energetic contract wasn't in alignment with you. So feel that as well. This whole session, they've just said, we want to regulate your nervous system. And the more that we're able to do this after these encounters with extraterrestrials or other beings, the easier it's going to be, and the greater information you're going to receive, and the more help is going to be received. Of course, use your discernment in everything. And that's what I say. Send that unconditional love and see if they're able to hold it and give it back, or give more. There is a divine respect that I'm feeling from this frequency. They're saying it is very important for you to be able to say no, like we talked about in your the portal conversation, it's important for you to know when you are ready. And so they're wanting to show you these situations of stepping into a portal, and you saying no is the start of seeing your evolution with these beings. So that you can look back and be like, once I was very afraid to tune into this, and now I'm so comfortable doing these things and connecting with certain areas. Or it's I'm just continuing to listen to my intuition, and that just doesn't feel right for me now. So I hope that this is making sense. I know that this is a very intense and deep energetic circumstance and situation that we want to be very open about. But mainly they're just saying relax your nervous system. And I want you to just know that you're not alone, and you are safe to receive this information, and you are safe to allow us to speak about this information, because you're not the only one that's experiencing this right now. Many beings that are tuning into that higher frequency are getting this type of engagement or this contact within our third eye or physically in order to be the first wave or the coming wave of disclosure that's being called onto earth. So give your body permission to receive with love. Remember who you are, Astrid, and remember where you come from. Just because your physical body looks like this now does not mean it's always looked like this. It can be very easy to judge other physical forms because it looks different. And difference doesn't mean bad. This is strong, strong energy. Many are ready to see. I see that as well. Like they're showing this like bandana coming off the third eye. They're almost showing like head coverings coming off. And I mean, head coverings are going to be unique for everyone. But they're showing like open the crown, open the third eye, and let it be seen. But I do want to say, and I think head coverings came up intentionally, if you are engaging with these beings and you don't really want to, that is where you can put on a hat, where you can put on a head covering and just be like, hey, I'm, not today, not today. And allow them to respect you. And I think that's the main thing is energetically demanding respect is very necessary when connecting with these beings. Because they're going to hold that energetic demand for respect. And sometimes we see that as fear or we see that as something negative, but that's just how they have worked in their societies and in their frequencies and in their economies that's coming up, that is how they function, that is how they communicate. They are not as emotional or as people pleasing as humans are. Humans are very we like to make things look nice and feel nice, and that is not the intention of all of these planets. Not a lot of planets hold the same type of emotional depth as humans do. A lot of them are very blunt, very straightforward. They don't understand the ways that we communicate or how we talk around things to not trigger people. They want to trigger and they go straight in and they're very blunt. So that's something to also be aware of. Okay. So we're going to relax that. Energy was fast. So it's the timing was not the best is what you're saying, but they're saying that's exactly the time that it was needed. Bringing light down through the crown, third eye, throat. There was in that tiredness, there was a let go of control. And when you let go of control, it was allowed. And they're showing that you in some way have asked to be in contact with these beings. And now that they are here, you're like, wait a second. wait a second, can I handle this? And so they're wanting you to acknowledge the fact that you have asked for this. Yeah, there's no distortion and only truth. A lot of times, yes, when you're communicating with these beings, again, there's not going to be a lot of that small talk. It's just going to be their truth. Light, crown, third eye, throat, heart. Deep in the heart, let your body feel loved. Down through the solar, sacral, root. So again, that sacral wound, right? We talked about that energetic PTSD. This is where we want you to just hold on to your womb. Tell the womb it is safe. You are safe. Your inner child is safe to receive this information, to be in contact. It is an honor to be in contact. They want you to remember that. There's very few that have had these type of interactions, and I know it can be uncomfortable because you are paving a way for society. Feel your strength as to why you are on this planet, Astrid. Grounding through the root, feel the magnetism from the root going down through hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, pushing down into the earth, grounding down. Ooh, lots of energy. I know there's a lot of release. Let it flow. It's okay. And they want to say make sure you're giving yourself as much rest as possible as you're integrating these frequencies. Again, you are paving a way for society. And I know it can feel big, and sometimes you can just be like, nope, not today. And that's okay too. Give yourself that permission. All the way down through your roots, all the way down into the crystalline core, sending these awakening frequencies, sending these disclosure frequencies through the collective as many of us are opening our eyes to the reality of being a multi-dimensional and multi-species planet. And what I'm also feeling from this, Astrid, is your work with the inner earth is coming out. So this type of disclosure is allowing those beings of the inner earth and those of the magical realm to start to be seen, or to start to feel safe enough to open up. Because if we're still afraid of these little fairies or these little beings in our reality, then we're just going to be afraid and then kill them. That's what we have done a lot as humans, and this is why they have hidden. So we do not want to hold the energy of fear, because we are inviting more awareness and awakening into reality. Okay, I'm done here. Let's keep going. Bringing this energy all the way up through feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, all the way up into the heavens, allowing this to be your truth if it feels right to you. And bringing this energy all the way back down and around you. And so it is. Releasing any last energy that doesn't serve you, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out, appreciating the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the honor of being alive here in this present moment. I see you, I love you, I honor you. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura, keeping you safe, sane, and protected. Abundance all the way through you and into the collective consciousness field. We all shift together. Take a deep breath in. Your energy is yours. Sending a lot of peace and ease and stabilization as I'm sending this energy back. And my energy is mine. And so it is. And so it is. There you go, Astrid. Sending you so much love. I do feel humming. Humming is going to be really good for your nervous system. Hum music. Again, anything that keeps you in your body, anything that keeps you grounded. That was the first thing that we really talked about. When you're feeling that fear, be in the body. What is present here? Something I talked with my friend yesterday is feeling just the pleasure of having a blanket over your lap, feeling the pressure of the blanket. That can be so grounding and can be so blissful if we allow it to. Yeah, we love Astrid, and the frequency she's brought to this planet has been really beautiful. Like a lyre. I'm not sure what that is, I think. What I felt it to be was kind of a being that looked a bit Andromedan in nature, actually, and a bit Syrian in nature, which I think is a little bit part of your home planet, which is why I think that they contacted you. But I'm not sure. You know, your experience with that is going to look a little bit different. Sent you a picture in TikTok. I didn't see the picture on TikTok. If you want to send it via email, I can check that out. Okay, next up, Jess. Do we have Jess in the collective? Make sure you guys are drinking water, especially after that session. And again, something that they had said was this also was a message that came through for the collective. Excellent. All right, Jess. What would you like to work on today, love? Spirit led. Anything specific? I will tune in. Okay, give me literally just a second to come out of that. Ooh, that energy was strong. That energy was strong. But it's very exciting. It's very, very exciting that we're working with that frequency. Some of y'all might have your third eye popping. Seeing a lot of new things, lots of changes. Excellent. Yeah, some of y'all's third eyes might be buzzing. And if this is your call to then put that head covering on, please do. This also might be your call to just drink some more water. Sorry, give me a second, Jess. Yes, that's what they looked like. Yes, that's what I saw in my mind's eye. That's what I saw. It looked Andromedan in nature to me. Like, even as I'm looking at this, I'll show the collective. I know this is gonna look a little bit weird. That to me looks Syrian and Andromedan in nature. My third eye episode yesterday. Yes! I don't know where that is. I've never heard of lyre. But that is definitely what I saw. The way that their eyes tilt reminds me of Syrians. But the energy that they're showing also reminds me of Andromedans. So that's why I said both of them. But that makes sense if it's their own species. But we've talked about your energy, Astrid, that's very focused on those two energies as well, Syrians and Andromedans. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's tune into this next healing because I know we have a couple healings on the list today. I want to get to all of them. We can talk about that a bit later. Bust that calcification. Yes, girl. Come on. All right, Jess, put a heart in the chat when you are ready. Oh my gosh, the ear ringing and the pressure, it's been wild. It really has been. It really has been. All right, give me just a second. That's going to be... All right, hand on heart, hand on belly. Let's take 3 deep breaths in together. Take a deep breath in. So they very much made me... Oh, I gotta keep my eyes closed. They very much made me just focus on your physical body when I was tuning in. I'm still feeling like this need to breathe in my chest. There's a little bit of like this anxious feeling in the heart itself. And it could even be like I mean, we haven't done these sessions in a while as well, so it could also be like coming back into this space. But I am feeling this like deep need to exhale a lot. I do also want to say that the first frequency that I felt was golden energy. The other thing that I'm feeling is like a little bit of dizziness in the crown or in the third eye, and then a little bit of pressure in the back of the head. So again, they're very much focusing on your physical symptoms here and really calling you to feel into your heart. I think, as you said, a lot of changes moving in your life. I think it can be easy to get swept up in the changes, but to be still in the heart, ooh, is very necessary. Yeah, this feeling of like not breathing. I keep holding my breath. I also hear the word offended. I'm going to ask you to release the layer of offendedness or offense so I can go in deeper. We're going to flow water down through your crown, third eye, throat, heart. Oh, there's so much in the heart. Yeah, that makes sense. Down through the solar, the sacral, and the root. Through hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet down into the earth, grounding down. So I think this is why they're focusing on your body physically. So if you're receiving, just like we talked about with that last healing, if you're receiving all of these new energies, all of these new things, all of these things that you're seeing, it is most important to be very present in your body. Because if not, we can energetically drift off or be overwhelmed very easily by these frequencies. So this is why they're calling you very strongly to the physical form to be very present here. I feel like a lot of energy. They're showing me like a water hose, like shooting through like a from an extinguisher. Wait, yeah, fire extinguisher. Like all of this water flowing so fast and moving. Like that's the energy. Like there's a lot of frequency, and I'm like trying to relax it because they're saying that can be overwhelming to your body, and it can also feel very isolating sometimes. Move the hips, open the hips. So this again goes in correlation with what we were just talking about. Again, I'm sorry if you hear the vacuum. My mom is vacuuming. And maybe that's a part of this, like, almost static is what I'm feeling a little bit, like this staticky energy in the field that's going through the crown. Open. Connect higher. I'm seeing a jewel on the top of your crown going up into the heavens. Bring more light in. Clarify the crown. Oh. Releasing out any projections, any insecurities out of the brain, any fear. Going through the third eye, going to the back of the head, going down through the spine, intertwining in and out of the spine. Yeah, they just keep showing me grounding the body is really necessary right now. They're also showing me a powwow. They're showing, and like a chief wearing huge feathers. They're showing that, and they're showing beings dancing around your field, stomping, grounding. So that's a very grounding energy, right? Those the dancing with the feet stomping. That's a very grounded spiritual energy. That's what they're wanting you to feel. They're wanting you to feel that energy and feel the thumping of the drum in your field. Oh, there's just so much in the heart. It feels like part of your heart isn't wanting to witness itself or witness its own pain. And so it keeps coming forward to me as like wanting to be seen. It's like screaming a little bit. Feeling of loneliness. Community. So then they're showing they're wanting you to then step into the circle and dance around with them. You don't have to be the one sitting out. You can join the dance. You can join the movement. You can join the groundedness. I want you to open this field again, right here. I know that there's a little barbed wires around your field. That's okay. But just open a little bit more. There we go. And I'm seeing a blossom. They're showing a blossoming like lily coming through your field. There's a lot of blooming happening in your field, and even that delicate energy of the feminine really opening up and blossoming within you, within your womb, within your heart, within your upper body. That's taking place at this time. And sometimes it can be actually uncomfortable to open. So they're going into the analogy of the flower blossoming. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to be vulnerable enough to open up. And that's what they're showing. You're in this process right now of like opening up. And they're showing your heart doing that as well. And when your heart opens up, then they're showing these bees, which is interesting because they showed bees in the beginning as well of this session. They're showing bees coming to the flower and like wanting to just enjoy the nectar. So this can be other people, this can be partnerships, this can be whatever you are attracting is going to be attracted to you the more that you allow yourself to blossom and or bloom. Yep, they just keep showing. Anytime that I'm like, show me more about the other energies, they're like, nope, just stay in your body. This is what we're being called for you to do, is stay in your body. To be very present with the physical rituals that you're doing on a daily basis, the way that you're connecting with your spirit team, the way that you're connecting with your body, the way that you're connecting with others, the way that you're connecting with friendship, those things are important. Because they're like, we already know that you know all of this stuff in the spiritual realm. We know that you're able to connect with all of these different energies. That's not what they're wanting you to focus on at this time. And then they're showing fairies. The grounded presence of fairies, connecting with trees, going on walks, sitting by a river, playing a drum, singing song. Again, all of this stuff coming back to that tribal, primal, wild nature within you that is wanting to be seen rather than being suppressed. And they're showing like the way that you separate this is like, this is so interesting and so specific. It's like putting on a huge hoodie or a jacket and just like cuddling up into your couch and then just watching TV for the rest of the night. And they're like, that is eliminating you or separating you from your divine sanctuary that is being called to you. You're being called to sit with nature, to dance with nature, to sing song, to open your heart, to be a little weird, to be very wild, to be free. That freedom is the opening of the flower, and all of this magnetism is going to come to you the more that you open up. And they're showing waterfall now coming through again. Crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet. They're also suggesting, which is interesting, coffee. I'm pretty sure, I mean, you work at a coffee shop, so you probably have coffee. But they're saying like brewed coffee instead of energy drinks. I don't know if you drink energy drinks, but they're saying the closer you can get to the natural medicine, the better. And then lots of water. They're saying drink lots of water, but I think you already do because I'm feeling all of this water going to your field. They're also saying chocolate. These are grounding features. This would explain my skin shedding and new skin forming. Yes, 100%. And as you're saying that, they're showing me oils, making sure that you're holding space for your body with sacred oils because your body is a sacred temple. Your body is a sacred temple. So again, coming into that ritual when you take a shower, holding space after to acknowledge the temple of the divine that you are and placing respect back into you. There's a very grounded, I know I keep saying that, but there's a very grounded presence. And I don't know if you have indigenous within your lineage, you have them within your spirit team, and they're calling you. They're calling you back to earth. They're calling you back to going outside. They're calling you back to presence, stillness. They're saying groundedness rather than guardedness. Period, spirit. I'm going to drink some of my coffee since they mentioned it. Again, they're saying even working with sacred medicines is something that could feel called to you. So we even have the native flute here. They're showing me also buffalo, which could be the white buffalo woman. Again, there's a very native frequency through your stream today. There's a lot of the indigenous coming forward. And they just keep saying, remember why you're on Earth. To learn from the Earth. Ooh. Give your body permission to be a student, to learn, to be open. Feeling a little bit through your shaman side, yes. This is what I'm saying with the wilderness and this call to you singing, playing, sitting next to the water, because nature is going to teach you. I don't know, this might be controversial. Nature is going to teach you what you need to know about shamanism. Nature is going to teach you what you need to know about yourself. Nature is going to teach you all of these things, but if you're not engaging in nature in that divine sect, you're not going to get there. So they just keep bringing me back to go to a river, sit next to the river, sing, sit with your heart, sit with your soul. Don't be on your phone. That's not necessary to connect with nature. You don't need that translation. You don't need that stimulation. You need the stimulation of the bird sounds to activate your pineal gland. You need the stimulation of the water to activate your body to flow. You need the stimulation of the breeze, the air moving through you to allow any old energy to flow through. You need the stimulation of the grass, the ground, the earth to teach you that groundedness, to be strong and solid in your frequency. This was a good session after that last session we had. Very grounding. I love that. And they're wanting you to know you are so loved. They're wanting you to know that you're so supported. You are cared for. Feel the hug from the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the parents of your frequency. Feel the love. Feel the care. You are not alone in any of this. You're being guided divinely. You're being taught. Every step of the journey is intentional for you to grow. And they're saying, step out of the box. They're saying, step out of the box. Jess wanted me to say that. And the box is the home. The box is the safety. The box is what keeps us in our routine. They're saying, step out. I've been clumsy lately. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And again, that grounding force of working with nature, that's going to help the equilibrium. That's going to help balance the mind, the body, and the soul to help keep you stable and stabilized. Okay? So let's see if there's any other frequencies that want to come in. They're showing like palms. They're putting like palm leaves on your body and grounding in. There's like medicine. There's like oil underneath. They put oil on and then they put palm leaves on. And they're like letting that soak in. I can feel that. Oh, it's gonna like relax your body and your muscles as well. And just allow that to sit on your skin. Your physical, like your literal physical body is gonna start changing in the way that it's gonna be maybe even a little weird for you. Like you might see like you're gaining more muscle. You might see that your body is changing in the way that you've always wanted it to look. That's important for you to Not question it, just tune into it. Respect it. Respect the body. Okay? All right, let's bring some more light down through the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, down into the earth, grounding down. Releasing into the earth, grounding with your roots, connecting deeper and deeper. All the way down to the crystalline core. Wrap your roots around the core. Send this energy up and around you to help stabilize your field, to help keep bringing beautiful experiences, beautiful blessings into your life. And I keep seeing like birds, specifically like these. There's going to be a lot of birds that are sharing messages with you. Bring this energy up through your roots, feet, ankles. Yeah. That's why they just kept grounding you the whole time. Shins, calves, knees, thighs, back of thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, all the way up into the heavens, allowing this to be your truth if it feels right to you. And bringing this energy all the way back down and around you. And so it is. And so it is. Oh no, releasing any last energy that doesn't serve you, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out. Appreciating the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the honor of being alive here in this present moment. I see you, I love you, I honor you. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura, keeping you safe, sane, and protected. Bringing abundance all the way through you and into the collective consciousness field as we all shift together. Take a deep breath in. Your energy is yours. My energy is mine. And so it is. And so it is. There you go, beautiful soul. Sending you so much love as you navigate these shifts in consciousness. All right, beautiful souls. Next up, we have Christine. I think that was such a good session to have right after the one we had with Astrid, the very elevated extraterrestrial connection, and then we like came back in with that super grounded indigenous earth wisdom, which is really beautiful. Dimension Alire is Vega there on Earth. Ooh. Which, so if so the Lyrans, right? The Lyra is Vega, okay. The Lyrans and the Vegans are the beings that are more known to. It's so interesting that you're sharing this information because I always assumed that the Vegans looked lion-like. But what you're showing me is they look Syrian, which makes sense as well because the Lyran Empire is now a part of the Syrians. And so there's probably just a connection between the Syrians and the Lyrans, or the Vegans, that created that type of breed. But the Syrians and the Vegans, they're involved with the Syrian planets. Sirius A. Yeah. All right, let's go into Christine. Jess, let me know how you're feeling. My back of head is tingling. Yeah, that's something I've been feeling it as well. They are on Earth, of course. There's so many of us on Earth. I mean, that's why you saw them, right? That's why you saw them, because they are on Earth. Christine, if you are here, let me know. I'm so happy now. Yay! Again, I want to say thank you to everyone that's here. I know that these energies can be pretty intense, pretty wild. Hello, Christine. Are you just looking for intuitive, tuning in, checking it out? Let me know if there is anything specific that you want to tune into, and we can tune into that. But for now, we'll just kind of do intuitive. Oh, absolutely. I've been getting so much lion symbolism. I've been getting a ton of griffin symbols. If Christ consciousness beings are a part of Series A. Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah, so I've been getting a lot of griffins in my field, which is the flying lions. That's been really cool. That's been really fun. And we talked about that with Iran as well. Iran, it's like their symbol is like flying lions, which Ramona had told us that. So I think that has some connection to the Stargate in Iran, which is trying to be conquered but cannot, simply cannot. Simply cannot is what I feel about that. So the light has won. That's kind of what I feel. But we're still witnessing it play out. All right. I don't know what number it is. I just know that it is a Stargate, but it could definitely be 11. I mean, I'm going to trust that because your frequency is involved in that. So I'm going to trust it. Stargate 11. All right, let's get started with Christine. I'm going to get my energy ready and then we'll get started. Thanks to everyone that's here. Of course, as always, it's an honor to host this group. All right, let's get into it. Christine, put a heart in the chat when you're ready. This is going to be a 25-minute session. Thank you for following. Hand on heart, hand on belly. Let's take 3 deep breaths in together. Take a deep breath in. Okay, the first thing that I heard was warrior energy. And the second thing that they showed me was this suppressed feminine frequency or this assumed feminine frequency where you had to feel society placing a lot of assumptions upon you. And there's this inner fire of like, don't do that. Don't assume things of me because that makes an ass of you and me, right? We don't want to assume things. And so there's something about this an inflammation of assumptions that people have put upon you or the projections that people have upon you that's just like, oh, why do you think that of me? Or like, why are you looking down upon me in some capacity? Like, you don't even know me. Like, there's a frustration in your projection field is what I'm feeling. It doesn't feel like all of the projections are embodied, and I don't think you do that, but I think like just clearing the projection field itself is going to be important for you. There's also this embrace of the deep softness of the inner feminine that's in your body, even by doing this type of work, is that type of connection back into your deep intuition. Yeah, I hear wounded warrior, wounded healer, Chiron. Chiron. There's a lot opening up in your heart. So I'm going to hold space here as this stuff opens. They're saying sometimes you can get lost in your own field, or you don't know which direction to go. So as I'm like tuning into your heart, I get this like shrug. They're going like this. And then it goes black. And then I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? And they're like, this is how you sometimes see energy when you're tuning in. You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. And then it's like that fear comes in or that doubt comes in, and then it kind of like washes it away, is what I'm feeling. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And so they're wanting to create a clearer channel in your heart space and a clearer channel in your projection field. Sometimes, okay, that's what they're showing. This makes sense. Sometimes the projections of others upon you create distortion in your own field that can make it hard and confusing to know what is the difference between spirit and what is the difference between those around you. So we're going to clear your field completely. And just let any projections go back and mirror back to the person that sent them for them to learn that lesson rather than you holding on to the projection. So there's this need, again, to be fully liberated in self and to be fully liberated in your divine feminine, which is that very intuitive nature, that very inner knowing. A part of you is holding on to the projections of being feminine by you. This is so, it's like kind of complex. It's very interesting. But basically, they want you to be really open with your intuition. And that's a very beautiful way to express your femininity in a way that is a lot of times looked down upon by the projections of others. But they're saying that doesn't matter. Let go of projections. So again, clearing the projection field. We're going to bring lots of light down through, they're saying, an octagon of a channel. So there's going to be 8 streams of light going down through your projection field or through your aura or your Taurus field, just washing out any projections that have been placed upon you. And they're saying 8 channels of light going through all of your chakras. So all of these regular chakras, so the root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and then your upper chakra here. Your star chakra, whatever. There's many names for the chakra. Just kind of knowing that there's an upper chakra here that holds your connection to the higher realms. But then they're also showing the earth chakra. So then they're showing the chakra that is connected into the crystalline core or to your earth existence. They're showing all of these channels clearing as this light is beaming in. So we have 17 channels of light that is moving through your body at this time, 8 of them around your field, 9 of them through these channels. They're saying let go of any doubt, let go of any fear, let go of all projections, completely resetting and restarting your projection field and your energetic aura. So it's coming into a 0 point frequency. So when you're at that 0 point frequency, then you're able to rebuild yourself from a new energy. And this is where there's a little bit of an identity change that's going to come from this, about how you see yourself and how you walk around in the world. There is less need to protect from projections when you are in this field of no longer clinging to projections. Again, I hope that this is making sense. They're very deep on this topic for you, so take what resonates. Okay. A lot of it is near that solar plexus and that sacral chakra. There is, again, this societal programming as well. There's a part of, oh, I feel this so deeply because it very much resonates with my own heart and my own childhood, is a little bit of this suppression of sexuality that doesn't, it feels like it doesn't want to be witnessed or doesn't want to be seen because there's some shame around it, but they're wanting this to come forward. Sexual energy is our spiritual energy in a lot of ways. So we want this to be open. So we no longer have to be afraid. Again, this might be very subconscious for you, but it might also bring some stuff up that you want to think about. Inner teen is coming up. They're saying the ripe age of 14. There's something here of suppressing self or feeling ashamed of body, feeling ashamed of your natural progression of growth in puberty, wanting to, again, cover up in a way that doesn't allow people to project or assume things of you. Again, this inflammation of assumptions. Let all of those go. Let them die here. Relax your hips. Let it go. There's nothing that you need to hold on to in this moment. My spine is fixed. In what capacity? What do you mean by that, love? Bringing more light down to your crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral root. I am seeing multiple rainbows. I've had 4 back surgeries. Fused. When did that start? That makes a lot of sense. 2 when I was a kid. Projections. That makes sense. Sexuality makes sense. There felt like there was this limitlessness or limitedness. You felt limited from a young age. And this, again, wounded warrior makes sense. There's a lot of things from childhood that is coming up. I feel it. And I'm feeling my feet kind of buzzing too. We want to bring this feeling of being limited, or this feeling of being suppressed, or this feeling of being projected upon, or this feeling of being assumed of, that you can do less than others because of certain injuries. Allow that to come forward. You are very capable. And I want you to hear that within yourself, that you are very capable. There's always been this need to prove yourself more, it's felt like. And they're saying you don't need to prove yourself, you don't need to explain yourself. Just be. My feet are always buzzing. It's making sense, but I'm not able to fully understand why it's making sense about the spine and the childhood. You've always had very strong energy. You've always had very deep connections to the spiritual realm. And they brought in all of that light. So all of your meridian points are also spinning, so they're bringing in more light to spin all of your meridians to really open up your channel. Again, the point of this is to really clear out your channel, to release any of that projection in your field, and to completely restart and renew your energetic contract is what I'm hearing. They took it from me. I just got it back in 2020. Wait, what did I say? What did you get back? This is very curious. Lots of light codes coming in. I'm seeing a flower again, blossoming, blooming again, new energy, completely 0 point energy. Completely resetting and restarting your field. How's it getting installed? Clear. They're really wanting you to clear any like remnants of victimhood and any remnants of connection with autoimmune disorders. For some reason, they're bringing that up. I don't know if you experience autoimmune disorders, but they're like, that's not something you need to tune into. Seeing a ton of angels coming down. Ton of angels coming down all around your field. There's a very interesting energy in this. I think it is because I'm feeling the projections. It's a very interesting energy. A lot of this is very subconscious. Opening the channel more. Clearing. Lots of clearing. Lots of clearing. Bringing more light down to your crown. Third eye. Throat. Heart. Solar. Sacral. Root. Hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet. Divine Mother coming in. Divine Cosmic Mother coming in behind you, wrapping her arms around you, letting you feel held. Allowing your body to fully surrender into the healing of being held, into the healing of being loved, into the healing of getting attention. Attention that is divine attention. There's a lot of complex situations here with your energy field. There's a lot of complexity because there's a lot of things that like logically don't make sense, right? Even the spine, the fusion of the spine at a young age, it's a part of your contract. And this is why they were saying rewriting your contract. That contract is finished and you're able to write a new one, which is why the energy might feel confusing right now because it's like the old contract is dissolving. So I'm trying to tune into it and they're like, you don't need to. There's a new one being written and it's being written through your daily activities. It's being written through the way that you connect with yourself. This is why they said let go of any victimhood or any connection to sickness. Because that's no longer a part of your frequency. They're saying flexibility. Ooh, so interesting. So they're wanting you to see your contract right now is literally a blank slate, and they're showing you getting out a journal and like writing down kind of what the rest of your life might look like based on your co-creation, right? I mean, there's still in general some sort of contract, but they're showing, just as the old world is dissolving, the old contract of the old world is dissolving, we're creating a new world. And so allowing yourself to kind of have a new frequency to base your contract on is really important for you, but also for your lineage, the generational contracts within consciousness. And you're able to kind of write down generational wealth, unconditional love, divine attention. For some reason, that's coming up, divine attention, and mothering, this ability to also be fully free and to be self, to be all of you without projection. All of these things are wanting to come forward for you to be witnessed in this. And then they're showing me a rose, they're showing me white roses and red roses, and I'm getting a lot of energy moving out the left side of my leg or coming into my leg. So if you want to massage your leg, the back of your thigh, oof, and the back of your calf, as the old contract is dissolving through your body. They're showing water, making sure you're drinking lots of water. But yeah, they're saying this holy, holy, reverent moment of redoing your contract. They keep showing that. And they're showing like light a candle, light some incense, get your notebook out, hold a holy space, put on vibration sounds, healing frequencies, and sit with the divine to rewrite your contract. Huh. I'm feeling a lot of energy down my foot as well. I feel like my feet are on the wrong legs and my legs are on the wrong hip. How interesting. What an interesting feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot in my ankle. They're saying there's nothing wrong with you. Don't assume things are wrong. When you assume things are wrong, you assume you are wrong. You place projections on yourself. Rewrite the contract. Give permission to adjust. Give permission for your spirit team and your guides to adjust you to make you feel fully comfortable in yourself. But do not assume you are wrong. You are made perfectly in the image of the divine. Okay? I'm going to clear out any last projections here or any last assumptions or connections to your old contract that need to release. I'm going to bring in some more light down to your field. They are going to want you to drink water after this and also eat something that's a little bit grounding. Whatever that is for you. Bringing more light down to your crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet down into the earth, grounding down. I want you to really sit with your legs today. Sit in alignment with them. Sitting and allowing spirit to come in and shift your energetic imagery of your legs. All the way down through your roots, down into the crystalline core. Feeling the love of the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, bringing this unconditional love back up to your roots. Feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, all the way up into the heavens, allowing this to be your truth. Feels right to you, bringing this energy all the way down and around you. And so it is. And what they're saying is that some of this information is going to feel very cryptic over the next week or so, you're going to continue to almost like put together some of the things that I had said. They're saying again, they want you to focus on the legs, sitting with them, sitting in alignment, sitting in reverence, and rewriting the contract. And it can feel a little bit confusing this week. Stabilize in yourself. Remember who you are without shame and without inner projection. Okay? You're welcome. Releasing any last energy that doesn't serve you, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out, appreciating the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the honor of being alive here in this present moment. I see you, I love you, I honor you. 12:21 on the clock, mirrored reflection. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura, keeping you safe, sane, and protected. Abundance all the way through you into the collective consciousness. Take a deep breath in. Your energy is yours. My energy is mine. And so it is. And so it is. There you go, beautiful soul. Sending you so much love. Mwah. That was such an interesting session. I feel like it was such a, the way that you said, like, even sideways makes sense. It felt sideways. But they're saying there's nothing wrong with that, but tune into alignment. It's a different way of viewing things. Okay, that's what I'll say about that. Sending you so much love, Christine. All right, next up, last one for today, we have Allison. Do we have Allison in the chat? Allison, where did you send love? Oh, wait. I already saw it somewhere. It's a 15-minute session, right? I assume you sent on PayPal. All right, Allison, what would you like to work on today? I might actually go use the bathroom real quick. That might happen. So I'm going to go use the bathroom before we start this session because I don't want to have to stop. Time is going so fast, I know, isn't it? All right, let me stretch my legs real quick, and then I'll go to the bathroom, and then we'll be back for Allison. Allison, think about what you want to tune into today. You probably already have. All right. All right, we back. Guys, how have your dreams been? Oh, Allison. Okay, I want to say real quick, I think that they are intentionally lost and that there's nothing that you did. It's not that you misplaced them. I think spirit moved them intentionally. That's what I'm feeling about that. But we'll tune in to see why. I dreamed of the ocean and 2 dolphins coming to play with me. I love that. Vivid nightmares. My dream the other night, this is to change the energy real quick before we go into Allison's session. My dream the other night was about my butt clenching, you guys. It was the funniest, weirdest thing. There was someone that like took a picture of my butt and it was clenched. And they like showed the person that they were with, and I got so mad. I was like, why would you do that? And then I took their keys and didn't allow them to leave. It was so funny. But then other than that, my dreams are a lot about my exes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a lover at heart. I'm a yearner at heart. It's cryptic. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into Allison's session. Yeah, I was like, you can't drive away. Delete that picture. Hello. All right, Allison, put a heart in the chat when you were ready and we'll get started, love. Beautiful hand on heart, hand on belly. Hello, Luna. Let's take 3 deep breaths in together. Take a deep breath in. Slow down. It's okay. Rest. Last one here. Allison, you are okay. The eagle will find you when the time is right. And you will find the eagle when the time is right. Allow your heart to release distress at this time. Let it go. Relax your field from chaos and disorder so that you can feel in the astral where spirit is teaching you to find these bones. So it feels intentional that spirit moved or misplaced in some capacity these bones in order for you to work with your intuition to find them again. And they're saying you have to clear your field and you have to relax. They're saying you don't need to go back and think about where you might have put them, but think in the future of where you're about to go. It feels like an intuition test. And they're saying they're also wanted to see your reaction to physical things changing. They're saying detachment is necessary. We understand how important these bones are to you, but they are not the thing giving you power. You are giving you power. You hold deep intention with them, and they will show up when they need to. But for now, we want you to sit in the knowing that you are all powerful and in omnipresence with all things. And so, in that omnipresence of being aware of everything, we want you to sit in stillness, relax your mind, Think about nothing else around you, just you in the field of consciousness. And in this field of consciousness, bring awareness to the bones, bring them to the surface. Energetically feel where they're at. And if there's confusion and there's rumbling and rustling, distortion, let that pass. Find clarity in your mind's eye, find clarity in your energetic body, allowing your spirit team to give you more insight and allowing more clarity to these bones and where they're at in your field. Again, it's very interesting because I did see them kind of coming in and out of dimension. So it feels, again, that spirit very intentionally has touched these things, touched these bones in order to work with your energetic spirit and to teach you detachment. I know that this is very distressing because I know how sacred these eagle bones are for you. They're saying, remember that you are the eagle. Connect into your own call. Connect into your own frequency. And bring them back into this dimension. In stillness, you will know. Do not rush it. Do not rush this discovery. It is meant to find you. There's something much deeper about this situation and circumstance for you than what meets the eye. Feel the bones inside of you. Feel the ancient wisdom moving through those bones. Feel the eagle, feel the bear. Feel the coyote, feel the wolf. Feel the fish. Feel the dolphin. All of these beings and all of these frequencies are within you now. They are not outside of you. Listen to the wisdom in. And they're showing the heart resonating in certain directions. Feel your heart pulling you to certain places. And again, they're saying, slow down, relax. In time, you will find it. Can I ask why you hid these? They said, we already told you. It's a lesson. There was also, they're saying, a need for distress in your field to release. They said that crying or the tension, the releasing, is necessary for you to let go of attachment, but also to let go of other energetic shifts. This was like the breaking point for you to feel or to cry or to release that was needed. And it was a huge release at an energetic and a spiritual level, because it is a very spiritual thing. There is a death that took place in this. And I got chills as I said that. Bringing more light down to the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, down into the earth, grounding down. Let it all go, baby. It's okay to release. It's okay to not know. It's okay to be distressed. Just feel it. Let it go. Let it pass. Release. And the more that you release, the more clarity will be found in your field. Hello. They're saying, be still. You are more than just this earth. You are more than just the physical. They just keep saying that the eagle is within you. Feel your wings expanding. And in that, feel the resonance. There's some sort of detachment or dying that is happening that I can't quite put a finger to. A detachment to even some things that you've been taught is what I'm hearing. In some way, a detachment to your old identity is intentionally created out of this distress. You're being upgraded. They're showing a totem pole. The top of the totem pole. Surrender. Surrender. I'm getting chills. They're showing a rain stick. This is personal but can be collective if you resonate. There's a lot in the heart here. Something about a father energy. It's coming forward. Father. Lessons. Lessons. I'm hearing lessons. Can you clarify, please? They're saying we don't need to clarify. It's a feeling. We want you to feel. Allow your body to release. And remember that you can move mountains. You can ask the mountain to jump and it will jump. Allow your wings to fly. And your heart to open. They just want to open you up. They said this was a cracking open, an emotional opening. for more light to come in down through your crown, third eye, throat, heart, letting go of control. Right here at the top of the heart. Open. There we go. Ooh, strong energy. Move this light all the way down through your heart. Let it be renewed. Spinning through the heart. Thank you, beautiful. Thanks for the gifts. I appreciate you. Feel the light codes coming into your heart space, opening you up to greater wisdom, greater ability to flow, to let go of the old way. Bringing this down through your solar, bringing that light in, spinning. Feeling down through the sacral. Yeah, I just keep feeling this chief energy. So it feels like we're working with your spiritual father. He's doing a lot of opening up in your field. In a lot of ways, this is an initiation, even though it might not seem like it. It's the lower womb that I'm feeling, opening that up. Going down to your root, opening up. Hips, thighs, back of thighs, knees, back of knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet. Going down into the earth, grounding. Ooh, good. Relaxing with the flow. Feel the water coming through. Crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, hips, thighs, knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet. Down into the earth, grounding down through your roots. All the way into the crystalline core. Wrap your roots around the core. Feel the clarity of the light coming through. Feel the clarity opening up in your heart. Clearing, 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 flow, relax, let go of control. Trust you will find it when you need to, and it will find you. Good. Bringing that energy all the way down to the crystalline core, shifting this energy up and around, this deep trust. Ooh, feeling this in my spine too. You're going to get some spine upgrades from this. All the way up through your roots, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, thighs, hips, root, sacral, solar. Ooh, heart. Ooh. A lot in the heart. A lot opened up there. Throat, third eye, and crown all the way up into the heavens, allowing this to be your truth if it feels right to you, and bringing this energy all the way back down and around you. And so it is. Releasing any last energy that doesn't serve you, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow, letting it go, letting it flow. Ooh. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out, appreciating the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the honor of being alive here in this present moment. I see you, I love you, I honor you. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura, keeping you safe, sane, and protected. Embracing the beauty of who you are and honoring your soul journey. Abundance all the way through you and into the collective consciousness field. Take a deep breath in. Your energy is yours. My energy is mine. And so it is. So it is. Let me know, Allison, how you were feeling. Thank you to everyone else that was here during that session. It was really beautiful, really strong heart opening there. Wasn't expecting that. But again, feel into that clarity, Allison. Feel into your channel being clear. And then it will be known to you where to go. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here, love. Thank you for all the gifts. I do appreciate you. I'll follow you as well. So that was all of the sessions that we have today. Let me know if anyone has any questions. We're going to tune into the collective. I legit felt all of this. I feel lighter and more at ease about the eagle bones. Yes. Because you understand that it was divinely orchestrated. You're so welcome, love. I am honored to work in your field. Your guides are really great. Tune into that chief energy. He is guiding you through this. What's wild is I have a rain stick. So, Allison, yes, we did mention the rain stick. Allison, if you do have a rain stick, I do suggest you sit it. And then that's also going to clear your channel. So anytime you feel that distress energy of like, oh my gosh, this thing is out of my control, they're like, just sit with the rain stick and let it clear your channel. So for anyone else in the field that's feeling that, do that as well. I'd love to get a rain stick. Sometimes I feel we have similar guides. I love that. I love that. I love when, everyone's certain people resonate with certain people, right? And I mean, ultimately you're resonating with this channel and with this information because you're resonating in some capacity with my guides. I have a lot of guides. So I can bring a lot of people together. Okay, let's tune in. What did I want to say? There was something I wanted to talk about. Hello, welcome to the group. We're happy to have you. We meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, did anyone have any questions? I know we had talked about the extraterrestrials or the contact. I know, Astrid, we were talking about that stuff. So, if anyone has any questions about that, let me know. What I'm feeling about that, again, like what we talked about in the session, is that is going to be closer coming within us. And so, many of us are going to start seeing things within our mind's eye and within our physical eyes. That might be a little spooky. Remember to regulate the body, to be very present in the body, to give respect to the physical form, to come into harmony with self. When you come into harmony with self, these beings can either resonate with that harmony, resonate with that unconditional love, or they don't. And we will see them then kind of step away from working with you or being around you if they're not in that resonance. But many of you are going to come in contact soon, recently, to these beings. Again, whether it is within this frame of your inner eye or outside of you. And so a lot of you guys are going to experience this feeling of maybe psychosis. And I'm saying that with quotations because I think a lot of us in this collective have psychosis wounds or psychiatric wounds of being called crazy, of being pushed aside. So these psychosis wounds are going to echo through the body as we're receiving these things, as we're receiving this information. And this is why I say whenever you are receiving contact, make sure you are grounding first and foremost. I knew it, Allison. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew you would. Right after that session, I knew you would find it. And I'm so glad you did. Was it where you saw it in your mind's eye? Was it where you energetically connected in? Allison! I mean, that's what they wanted, right? Ugh, Allison, that makes me so happy. It just confirmed everything that we just talked about. They wanted you to cry. And they wanted you to remember how to clear your field, because they wanted you to see that you were so much more powerful in some capacity than you've given yourself credit for. And you probably, was that the location that you remember setting it, or did spirit move it, or did your team move it? And they might have changed your memories, but just so fascinating. I need to work on healing my harmony with self, which I've been doing daily. It was moved. Come on, Allison. That makes me so happy. I love when we get like instant confirmations, right? Had a dream about aliens invading a cruise ship the other night. Yes. A cruise ship. Like a physical cruise ship? Or like a cruise ship? So again, feeling silly now for crying so hard. No, the crying was intentional, right? The crying was the emotional release that you needed to learn the lesson of finding inner clarity. The crying was the medicine. That was the reason that it happened. And it also showed what you felt about it, right? Healing the witch wound has been so on your mind. I love that, because the last session we had done was connected with the energetic noose, healing the wound, burning the stake. Not allowing the witches to be burned at the stake, but burning the stake. That's been really prevalent. Sorry, hello, Kate. Welcome. I don't know if I said hi already. Chiron, I was in the swimming pool and looked up and saw the craft in the Caribbean Sea. I love that. Oh my gosh, this is just so much confirmation. That just makes me so happy. I'm so happy for you, Allison. I knew you would. I knew right after the session. That's why they kept saying, don't try to find it now. Just sit down. Sit. They said that energetically, and I hope you felt that. I don't know why I was afraid of it, right? I think so many of us are connecting into that consciousness of like, we want to connect with these extraterrestrials, we want to connect with these other beings, these off-worldly but on-worldly beings, but yet we're afraid of it. And this is why so many of us are having these discussions and these conversations, is to open up our awareness, to have more openness, to connect, and again to heal that psychosis wound or the witch wound that connects in with it, to heal the wound of inner wisdom, which is the witch wound. Witch means wise woman, wise person. So much going on here, so much energy flowing through as we're having this conversation. Witch wound. LOL. Thank you. What a cute one. That was adorable. So all of this is very interconnected, right? The expansion of the divine feminine, even with Mary Magdalene, right? The expansion of the divine version of us is going to open us up to greater wisdom. It's going to open us up to the spiritual realm. This is why we're experiencing disclosure at this time, that the divine feminine is working. So some of you guys also might be working with Kali Ma right now, with this fiery energy as she is moving in the body. She's going, wake up. Wake up to your old projections. Wake up to your old truths. Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm receiving a lot of downloads right now. I love that. All the wounds. Let's heal them. Let's heal them. All the wounds. All the wounds. The witch wound and other wounds. All of the wounds are healing. And they're showing me licking the wounds. And they're showing like a lyran or a mother lion, which we've been talking about lions a lot recently as well, Christ consciousness frequencies as well, licking the wounds. And that self-healing, licking the wounds is self-healing. Your own saliva can heal the wounds. Your own self can heal the wounds. Your own mothering energy can heal these wounds by you taking radical accountability of where you have wounded yourself, or where you have allowed these wounds to dig in, or where you have allowed these wounds to be infected and festering in the body. You have the ability to heal those own wounds. Felt all that beautiful, loving permission of allowing the wisdom to be felt and expressed. Yes. I have some pain in my heart lately, opening up more. Yes, we are the divine feminine. We are. The divine feminine is on the prowl, baby, inside of us. The time for healing has arrived for everyone. I felt that. Yes. What? like the kiss of a dog. Yes, licking the wounds, right? That's that emotional healing, that emotional connectedness. We get to remother ourselves anytime and at every level of expansion. Absolutely. We get to, it is our divine, it's our divine responsibility. Ultimately, it's our divine responsibility to hold that space for self, because that then creates unity consciousness. Because if we're continuing to need someone else to care for us, there's a time and a place for that as well, right? But ultimately, you have to understand that you can care for yourself. This is the same thing also with feminine and masculine relationships, in my opinion. Is there is a part of us that wants to experience the masculine side of our spiritual nature, which is the protective, which is the I feel like there's so many more words than protective, but our energy body wants that as well. And if we're not experiencing our own level of project or protection, and we're wanting someone else to protect us, we're allowing our power to be outside of us and giving that power away, creating dissonance within our own energy field. And then we create projection onto that masculine and saying, you have to then do this thing that I'm not capable of doing because I'm not giving myself that power. And then we create codependency rather than union within self. Union within self is necessary as we're going into a union economy where we are creating relationships based on union relationship. Does that make sense? You are united within self. That other person is united within self. So that creates a stronger relationship, a stronger union going upwards spiraling in ascension, rather than codependency, stagnancy. And we have to understand that codependency is different than like needing care, right? We physically need care. It's something that is very nice for us to want physical touch. It's very nice for us to want someone to like look after us and care for us in those ways, right? That's not what I'm saying on codependency. We don't want to be hyper independent is also what I'm saying. But there is this need to fully understand that you are capable of doing everything that you want to do. And you don't need someone else to do that for you. I still use medication for psychosis. Do you believe I should quit them soon? I think you should tune into yourself and make sure that you're ready if you want to do that. But if you still feel like you need it, keep using them. Whatever is feeling good for you, because everyone is going to have their own relationship with medicine. I also used to take medication for that, and it felt right for me at a certain time that I knew my own energetic boundaries. I knew my own energetic self. I knew how to come back to myself, and then I was able to get off the medication. So if you feel like you know your energetic boundaries on how to take care of yourself, yeah, we grow with them. It gives us baby steps to learn better how to take care of ourselves. So if you're feeling like you're at that level, I would suggest lowering the dosage over and over until you feel like you really don't need to take it anymore. And then, obviously talk to your psychiatrist. Isn't all of us? That reminds me of the teaching of Mary Magdalene's. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so let me talk about that, because this is like a really important thing about the message of Mary Magdalene and the message of Yeshua that got taken out of biblical context. The main things that got taken out, the main Bible books that got taken out during the empire of Christianity, because it became an empire with Constantine, was the biblical text that talked about the union between feminine and masculine energies, that talked about the equality and the equalness and the support that both of these beings had within this economy or within this world, right? Those were the books that got banned. Those were the books that got taken aside, because when you have someone that has greater authority than the other, it creates hierarchy. And with hierarchy, then leaders, politicians, things like this, then are valid in their need to be the highest. Does that make sense? So when we can experience hierarchy in relationships, in unions, in marriage, then everything outside of reality is going to experience hierarchy. When you can heal the wounds of your relationships with yourself and with others, your like actual divine relationship, that literally changes the world. That changes society as a whole. Because then the power complex isn't uneven. Power, ultimate power corrupts. There should be balance. Yes. And again, balance is going to look different for everyone too, right? Balance here and there. Like I very much don't agree with gender stereotypes, and that's my belief on that. I don't think gender stereotypes are helpful or healthy to anyone. I think it's a part of the hierarchy. Um, and so everyone's experience of balance between unionship is going to look different. In some families, the father being the caretaker of the children is going to be most beneficial. In some relationships, the feminine is much more masculine, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that she's out of alignment with herself. It means that she's actually more in alignment with herself because she's not tuning into the stereotypes that people are giving her because of her genitalia. And I have to speak on that because it pisses me off. I'm sorry. Anyways, you can tell my little bias is getting in there, but it's because I feel like this is why I came to this planet, is to teach humanity balance, to teach humanity that these stereotypes are unhelpful and they're creating hierarchy. And like why it's just like crazy because people are like even if we like talk about the church specifically, they're like your relationship is not about sex, your relationship with others should not be about sex, don't try to like be overly sexual, and yet they then force women and men to be their gender roles, which is inherently kind of in some way a sexual thing, because they're like, oh, you need to look feminine for the masculine, you need to look feminine for others, which that in itself like frustrates me. Because it's like I don't need to look any way for anyone, f off. That's how I feel about it. I get a little riled up, me and my little heart. It's okay. The world is changing. Removing people slash concepts from the pedestal, 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeshua and Mary support each other as equals, not one better than the other, not one being the half orange of the other. Right. Instead of need to look, it's like how I feel I called to express myself. Yes, 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 yes. So what they were saying over here on YouTube is Yeshua was not the other. Wait. Yeshua and Mary support each other as equals, not one better than the other. Yes. And this is why Mary Magdalene, this is why it's so frustrating. But Mary Magdalene was the leader of the feminine, the women of the discipleship, the women of the group. We also do want to talk about there were some homosexual people in the discipleship. There were. We got to talk about it. If there's going to be 12 people, there's at least one that's a gay. Anyways, we don't have to go deep into that. But there Mary Magdalene was the teacher of these women that were guided in healing modalities. Yeshua was teacher of men in a lot of ways, guiding in healing modalities, and they worked together. But she understood the feminine experience because at that time there was a lot of feminine suppression. He understood the masculine experience because they were raised in that societal programming, right? So they were able to communicate in ways that were beneficial to both parties. And they worked together. And this is why they said when the disciples went off, they went off in pairs of two. The pairs of two was the divine feminine and the divine masculine. That's how they went off. There was so many more disciples than were talked about than just the 12. And yes, the 12 were kind of their own unique frame of, there's so much into the 12, the concept of the 12, there's so much into that in itself, but there were so many others, and each of those 12 also had partners, and maybe they didn't just have a partner, maybe it was just a feminine counterpart that worked with them in their healing modalities. And that again, it's just wild that all of those texts that talked about them were taken out or were banned. It just like in my soul, I can tell my bias is very strong, so I want you to feel that this is very much from a human energy of frustration, but I think the humanness is also essential because that fire and that rage is needed. inwardly to change reality. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. This is just my background, very involved in the church. And again, like my parents still debate and talk about these type of concepts on a daily basis. So I'm very involved in biblical context and the suppression that took place from the Bible. And so very, very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. They've been saying to get angry more for the collective, right? That divine rage. And it's not, and I want to say this very clearly, that the divine rage is not needed to project. The divine rage doesn't need us to project this onto others, to declare that someone outside of us is worse, to create more conflict. That's not necessary. The divine rage is meant to come forward, to fuel us, to fire the interchange. To fire the interchange. Yeah, even just speaking up within our energy field, right? I can hear my kitty outside. When we see the past, the physical, we open up to more soul connection, recognition. Yes. Whew. Guys, I can feel the fire in my heart right now. I gotta relax. It's okay. It's literally okay. Because here's another thing I want to mention is that is allowed to stay the past. And one thing that I always need to remind myself, and I think to remind even like my parents, is that that is the past and that we get to create the future and that we're continuing to create a new reality every single day and that we do not need to continue to reminisce on war. How many people do you know that just like love war? Like that actually like talk about it all the time? And I don't know, maybe it's just something inside of me that I don't understand, like why people are so fascinated with war or fascinated with true crime. I'm sorry. I know there's true crime lovers out there. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't. I can't. I don't get it. Kids really do teach their parents. I do love an argument, though. I'm not gonna lie. I love an argument for the sake of argument. I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I had a wait. My phone's almost about to die, so if it dies, sorry. I had a conversation with a client of mine, which is in here. I think Jody's still in here, but we had this. I got this phrase that came up: argument for the sake of argument. I've been chewing on this concept all week of like, is it okay to argue for the sake of argument? And I haven't gotten a real answer. I haven't gotten a real true answer because they're like, it depends. Depends on the situation. Do you need to argue? Do you need to debate? Do you need to play devil's advocate? Because in my heart, I'm like, that's just how my body works. That's how my body works is like, I'm like, do I need to play devil's advocate? It's exhausting. It is, right? And so I've been really having to wrestle with that because it really has played in my own field of like, I don't need to argue. And even there was something that happened in my life the other day where I was like, well, I don't really believe in that. And I was like, why did I have to say that? I didn't have to say that. There wasn't a need. Not the thing that I just said didn't actually help the argument or help the conversation at all. I didn't need to say that. So I think there's like this awareness of like when it is the proper time to have a disagreement and when it is just to like let it go. Because like arguing for the sake of argument doesn't always need to be. It doesn't always need to be present. And sometimes we could just like let it go. I know it can be so hard though when we like when our foundation, right? Like my dad also like that's how he communicates. He's like he's just going to argue. Like he's just going to debate. And I mean I learned that way. So that's how my body like functions. It's like if someone says something even if I agree, for some reason I'm like but think about it this way. I'm like why do I need to do that? I mean, to an extent, sometimes it really does help expand me. But I do have to say, in relationships, it's not beneficial. In relationships, it's not beneficial to play devil's advocate. So if you guys are still playing that out in your relationships, maybe just let it pass. Sometimes you don't have to be right. Ah. was so into universal love. Yeah, that's the thing that's like fascinating about my field too. In my dad's is like he's very respectful for the most part. He just likes to argue. I just like to argue. Just because. I don't know why. And it's just like, okay, we don't have to always do that. It's fine. It's okay. So I've been learning that a lot. Anyways, it is 1:11 here and my phone's about to die, so I'm going to close out for the collective. Thank you guys for being here. Releasing any last energy. Let it go, let it flow, let it go, let it flow. I love you guys so dearly. Bringing unconditional love into every cell of your body, illuminating from the inside out. Bringing golden light energy all around your aura. Ooh. Abundance all the way through you and into the collective. Oh, bye. All right, take a deep breath in, YouTube. Your energy is yours. My energy is mine. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, all of you that are here. I'm sending you guys off with so much